upon and ultimately did cause the death of her 3 children. Like I said, the court is well aware of the facts and circumstances of this case. There are 3 dead children at this point in time due to the defendant's actions. Because of that, we are asking the court to take that into consideration and fashion an appropriate sentence.
Does your client need to sit down for this? Maybe. Okay. You may continue.
That's all I have.
Thank you, Your Honor. All right. I believe that the theme here that you're going to hear several times is that Ms. Gonzales is already serving a life sentence, and that's true. She's lost her children, and prior to this, it's not like her life was all that easy to begin with. And meeting with Leticia and knowing her for the past, well over a year at this point, she's been processing through the stages of grief. We've seen the denial, the anger, all of it. And she's been before the court now twice to accept responsibility for her actions. She's been on bond for well over a year. Been monitored through both the probation department as well as the community and folks that are heavily invested in monitoring her and making sure that she's staying on the right path here. And she's had no violations. We've not had to be in front of the court for even towing the line on those conditions. Furthermore, the court has reviewed a memo that was submitted by the defense team. She's detoxed from all of her medically assisted therapies that she was using to wean herself off of the opiate abuse. Prescribed to, whether it's punishment, deterrence, discipline. The only thing that has changed now in this case is that the charge and the guidelines now reflect that to be an appropriate sentence. I would ask the court to sentence to a local jail sentence with some probation to make sure that as she is grieving, that Leticia is not tempted to fall back into other substances. But again, as far as I've known her, her resolve has always been very strong. That's not going to be an issue. But I would ask the court to sentence to local tenant probation.
Thank you. Ms. Gonzales, have you had an adequate opportunity to read and review the pre-sentence report?
Yes, sir.
Any additions or corrections that you wish to make? Anything you'd like to say before sentence is opposed?
Yeah, I've lived with survival guilt since February 17, 2022. And I continue to hate myself every day, Your Honor. But I want to apologize to my kids' family and to the community, and most of all to my kids, because life without them has been difficult. I just pray that they know that I'm nothing without them, and that it was just an accident. They were the reason that I chose to change my life, and I chose to never look back and be seen in another courtroom in trouble. Being their mom was all I ever wanted. Each day I try coming to terms with my reality. But my reality is just a nightmare. And that day seems to stick with me, with depression and flashbacks from each and every day. I often find myself asking God why, because they're hurt. It's indescribable. I love them so much. I love you boys to the moon and back. With everything I have inside me. But Your Honor, I'm willing to accept the responsibility for my actions. Because as a mother, I feel that I have failed. But even though my life has changed, I'm asking for mercy. I'm crying out for help to understand that help to understand this mentally and physically. Because I would like to grieve I'm living in pain and remorse every day. And I just want my boys to know that I'm sorry for everything. And if I could give my life and change places, I swear I would. Life without them will never be the same, Your Honor. I lost everything I ever needed, and I hate myself so much. I've been sentenced to life without them for the rest of my life, so I'm asking for forgiveness. And also to my 3 boys that lost their lives, but yet here I stand still asking you for mercy. I'm willing to take the responsibility as their mother, and as a mother should. But I would like my boys to know that I'm sorry from the bottom of my heart, and I hope that they can forgive me, and I hope the community and you can forgive me, Your Honor. But I will always love my boys with all of it. That's it.
Thank you. Do you need a moment? No one is suggesting that anything that happened here was intentional at all. By the same token, when the court looks at the pre-sentence investigation report, it indicates that you had obtained illicit methadone on multiple occasions from this other individual. And unfortunately, your children were in the motor vehicle when you did that. So this was not a one-time situation that you succumbed to pressures or desires to use drugs. Rather, this seems to be a pattern, and unfortunately your children paid the ultimate price for that. And then historically, when the court looks at your contacts with the justice system in all the arenas, back in 2016, 2017, and preceding and post, you had your parental rights terminated to at least 2 children, and I think 3 now. And that was for neglect and drug use and abuse situations. So this has been a long-term pattern of placing your children at risk because of drug usage, and now you have lost 3. So therefore the court does believe that a substantial sanction is warranted because this was not a one bad night situation, which we had a horrific tragedy. It is the sentence of this court on the OWI causing serious injury that you be turned over to the MDOC for a minimum of 24 months and a maximum of 60 months. On all 3 counts of motor vehicle causing death, those are misdemeanors. The sentences will be the same, 365 days in jail, credit for 71. All of these are concurrent. Must pay state cost, crime victim costs, and D&A fees that are required by statute. This is the final sentence. You need to file an application to the Court of Appeals regarding your conviction and sentence. If you're unable to hire an attorney, this court will appoint one to represent you at public expense. You need to fill out the paper, keep it provided, return it within 42 days. The sentence is within guidelines, and prison has been imposed due to the reasons I have articulated.